And we're back here with Brendan Robertson, my best friends from the 703. It is, what is today's date? Sorry, I'm high already. The date is Labor Day, September 1st, 2024. Happy Labor Day, everyone, and Merry Christmas to all my fellow comrades up here in the car business. It's Brendan. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good, although I don't know what to do with my hands.
I be getting like that on these podcasts sometimes, and it's all Ricky Bobby. It's like, damn, what do I do? Sometimes I'll keep them up here. Sometimes I go down here. Sometimes I hit it with the little boom bat tip tap. Right. But this is Brendan, and like I said, he's my best friend. We first met back at Starbucks, both being baristas. Got my Starbucks today, a little Blanc Quad Soy Flat White. And we became best friends though from the Starbucks grind. We really fell in love, I'd say, over movies. Wouldn't you agree? What was the last movie you saw?
The last movie I saw to its end was the movie with Matt Damon called The Adjustment Bureau, which I think is very underrated.
Yeah. So
we saw that together. It was pretty good.
That's actually, we watched it, yesterday?
Yeah, either yesterday or the day before, yep.
Bit of a mind fuck, low key, with the doors, and then the hats. The hats is one of my favorite parts of that movie.
It was a very Hitchcockian kind of like Twilight Zone type of movie where it's classic suspense. It is an adventure, not adventure action, but there's no one dying, no one getting hit with cars or anything like that.
True. Who directed that? I low key forget.
I'm not sure. To me, it feels like the guy, like a Doug Liman type movie, like one of the guys who maybe has directed a Matt Damon movie in the past, but I'm not too sure about that.
Never go wrong with Matt, making it Matt. Where would you put top 5 directors, or who's your top 5?
My top 5 directors?
I know we've had this convo many times before. I know that on my last episode, or at least when I interviewed Suburban Snoop. Myself.
That was a good episode. I liked that. He's an interesting character, Suburban Snoop.
Yeah. Myself as the artist. So, my creative outlet, just where I get to reflect it all. But I know that one of the questions I asked myself was your favorite movie, and I think my favorite movie now is Reservoir Dogs. Like I talked with the Tad, or it's the one that I got at the top of my Blu-ray shelf, literally always at the top of the shelf, right there, ready to go in. But my top 5, I definitely listed it. Who would you get for yours?
I think my top 5 favorite directors would probably start with Stanley Kubrick for sure. Probably Steven Spielberg next.
Next.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Wow. Okay. I didn't have him on my honorable mentions either.
Ridley Scott.
I had him on my. This is my list, by the way.
Oh.
We're at 4.
And just to honor our good friend Jay Sean, Michael Bay.
Just throw him in there.
Michael Bay. I don't care what anyone says. Michael Bay brings the Bayhem every single time.
We're gonna blow something up.
Yeah, we're gonna have an asteroid crash to Earth day. We're gonna have Bruce Willis save the day. It's what you got to do.
It's what you got to do. Teaching a word.
In the words of the Bad Boys, shit just got real.
Favorite Bad Boy? Wait, did you see the new Bad Boys?
I saw Bad Boys 3, which I think is Bad Boys for Life, but I didn't see the newest one.
The newest one.
Like Bad Boys Forever, I think.
Pretty fucking sweet. I think it was called Forever. I saw it in theaters.
It's called Bad Boys 4,
I saw it in theaters on like the last go, the discount ticket night. And the coolest part with it is they have that very John Wickian film style where it moves, the fight scenes move. I really like, it's so hard for these reboots for you to have like a genuine plot, or for you to have just genuine of anything in any respect. And the plot was really good because they continued it from where we left off with Cap dying. Cap like leaves a message, right? Like, if you see this message, or if you're seeing this, XYZ.
And that's Joe Pantoliano. He's always good.
I can never remember.
We need to watch The Matrix. You'll see him in that. He's good in that.
I do. I saw it as a kid, but no, I need to get on that because I'm trying to write a song. Actually, that's your friend too. If you haven't ever checked it out, Melanie, Ms. Melody. We're working on it. We're trying to write a Matrix song. Trying to get this album out first, at least. But I really wanted to watch that movie with Brendan because something I love about watching movies with him, and he brings out my inner, just like film cinema spirit and soul. And like when we're watching a movie, we'll pause it, or we'll start talking and he'll just pause it, or vice versa. I'll ask a question, he'll ask a question, he'll make a comment about something, and then we're talking about another movie, and I got another movie added to my IMDb list, and it's just like it's continuous on, but I really wanted to dive into it because I know that he'll say some shit that I'll be like, oh wow, okay, this is gonna be the line of my song, or this is the idea, the theme, whatever it is I want to write about. I'm obviously, if you haven't heard my music, I'm very, very, very big into film. Pretty much every song now, even in our earlier stuff, I want to say the first EP that I put out with Sir Alden, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 8 songs, and of those 8, 5 of them sampled quotes. And it just played such a huge, huge, huge role in my music. Especially, I can't always find artists around me where they want to, not that they want to work, don't want to work. There's always people around you who want to work, but whether you have that connection with the rhythm, the soul, the music, it's so hard to find that chemistry on the mic. I found it with very, very, very few people. Very few. I could count it on one hand, bro. Mm-hmm. And the people I found it with, they're not trying to, it's not that they're not trying to do music. That's just not their passion like it is mine. Like they're just not trying to go, and like I got mad respect for that, Like you could have a gift, but you definitely could be chasing something else and feel your gift something stronger. Like I'm not going to press them or push them, but long story short, at the same time, like I was running out of like, oh wow, like I need to feel, I don't want to do this whole song. It doesn't feel right if it's just me. So like I started using the quotes as, not other artists or rappers, but I just started like talking more with the quotes, using them not just as an intro or an outro to the song, but taking it and making it a part of the beat.
It's for the theme as well.
It themes it in very well, yeah, the things I love, but it really helped. Really helped. It's like, when you have a problem for something, you're like, fuck, how am I going to solve this? But then you find a solution, and in the end, you're like, yo, blessing in motherfucking disguise. That's kind of what I feel like film did it again. It was a blessing.
The muse of movies.
I filled all these spots now and holes and shit in my album, like with the quotes. Brought some of these movies here of a lot of the quotes I used, but I feel like it took the music to another level. I feel like my artist flame is burning bigger and brighter than ever. Yeah, I'm just feeling it, bro. I can't wait to get back up on stage, like share it more. That's also why I can't wait to watch the fucking Matrix with you. I've been kind of slacking on this melody. Yeah, apologies.
Hopefully really you'll get some of that Neo energy. You'll be dodging some bullets out here, doing some martial arts, some gun fu.
Let's see. Wait, what day you here, Joe?
Tuesday.
Okay, cool. So we got 2 more days. So definitely between tonight and tomorrow, we'll have Matrix up. What else did I want to hit up with you? I want to finish Beatles. We were rewatching.
I think we need to watch the first episode of Mad Men. Would be really cool.
Okay, Mad Men. Yeah, let's knock that one out too, because I got that on Blu-ray. Beetlejuice. We got Beetlejuice coming up here soon.
Halfway through.
Holy moly!
Beetlejuice.
Last night, my wife and I both fell asleep because
it's a nice model.
We were vibing. But holy shit! Like I only ever saw Beetlejuice as a kid, like Toy Story age, and just like those Pixar jokes go over your head when you're a kid that they put in there. I love those, by the way. Like the Beetlejuice shit, I never really grasped it as a kid. I just thought he was a ghost. I never realized he was a bioexorcist. That's such a cool. I gotta like write that down actually real quick.
Do you also find like watching a movie after a long time, for the first time in a long time, like when you've seen something, you're like, oh, I never noticed that before, and it kind of gives you that deeper appreciation for that movie?
Let me tell you, every time I've watched movies more than 100 times over. Very few, but I usually ones on my body. Dark Knight, Reservoir Dogs, Breaking Bad. Brendan and I have just been rewatching it. These are both Breaking Bad tests. Tight. Good old Tuco. This is a fucking Leonardo DiCaprio has it in The Departed. It's a Bornelian scorpion, and that shit just represents like being brave in battle and like being strong, protection in battle, I believe as well. Like it's supposed to be a protector, right? I forget the name of the design.
That's kind of like in, I don't know if you've seen...
Jesse got it too.
What's that movie with your favorite, with Mark Wahlberg? The one based on the video game Max Payne, where in the Max Payne games, there's like the Valkyrie tattoo.
Uncharted?
No, Max Payne. So in Max Payne, there's
Wait
like
a minute, hold on. You said
tattoo.
Marky Mark though? Which one?
Yeah, Marky Mark was in Max Payne, the movie.
Wow.
He was Max. Not my favorite Max, though. I like Mel Gibson Max.
See, I have to do this because especially I'm pretty high right now, so I'm vibing. But the only thing that goes out the roof when I'm cooked is my memory. So I like to take these notes. So Max Payne. I didn't realize we have Max Payne movies. I thought it was just a
Just
game.
the one. It's not the best movie.
But with Marky Mark's in it, it's worth it always. We said the other day, though, very serious film point. But it is always worth it to even watch a bad movie or a shitty movie.
For sure.
Always find something out of it. My bad, Mike.
Yeah, with a good movie, you learn how to do good things. You're like, oh, that's a good shot, or that's a good editing trick, or oh, I see how they did that special effect and it blends nice.
It's like bad parenting.
But
you
with
learn what not to do.
Exactly.
That's
with a
a
bad
good
movie,
thing.
you're like, oh my gosh, why would they spend this much money and they did nothing with it, you know?
Think about bad movies like the shit that gave us, what are those ugly little shoes that I love wearing? Crocs. What's that movie? Idiocracy.
Idiocracy's a great movie.
Idiocracy's a great movie, yeah. But at the time, I remember when I saw it when I was too young. That's another reason to rewatch motherfucking movies, motherfucker. Every 2-3 years you age, you get more mature. You get new viewpoints on life. You become more of an adult. You start develop. I swear, the older I get, I develop more and more empathy for people, for customers, for friends. Even, bro, like, you beef with people, you have enemies, but then like a day or two later, like now as an adult, I find myself sometimes empathizing with them. Like, damn, well, you know what? They maybe could be going through this, and this is why they acted like that. It causes me to, or it leads me more towards forgiveness, but ultimately, sometimes you watch a movie and you weren't in the right headspace. Maybe you were fighting with your girl. Maybe you were having a hard day at work. Maybe you worked for, we always say this thing in the car business, do not work for free. It's one of my favorite lines. I'll quote it. It's quote Matt Aglia. It's my old GM. But basically, bro, if you go and you work a bunch of customers, you go home not selling a car, it's one of the shittier feelings of life. I'm not going to say shittiest, but it's a hard feeling. It's a bad feeling. And like, if I know that if the days I go home and blank, not sell a car. Like, if I watch something, I would subconsciously like not want to go back and watch. It's kind of like, don't make your favorite song your alarm because you wake up to it and it pisses you off.
That'd be terrible.
It's some shit like that. No. I did that when I was a kid. I remember hearing about it after the fact and then changing. I used to have the Star Wars Death March or the Imperial March, I think is my alarm. And like, it's funny how that. So these are like some tips to watch out for, but ultimately, rewatch movies, especially if you've aged, because it just, like last night when I was seeing Beetlejuice for the first time as an adult, like I learned the term bioexorcist. It's so cool how in the first 10 minutes of the movie, like spoiler alert, but not really, because the shit's from what, 88?
I think 88 or 89. Yeah, it's definitely 88 or 89.
Oh, that's right, because those cars and shit. It's definitely 80.
It's before Batman,
I know it's 88 because I remember it ended in 8. I couldn't remember 8 to 9, but now that I think about the movie shit, it was definitely an 80s movie. But in Beetlejuice, they touch on in the first fucking, like, couple minutes, people die, right? The couple dies. And then they touch on the idea of when you first die and you go to the other side, like, what happens? And in this case, or in Tim Burton's mind, you stay where you were, so like in your house, but then all of a sudden, like, these new motherfuckers move in and you're a ghost. They can't see you unless they're really dark, demented, goth in their own way, and like, I'll leave it at that. Then Mr. Beetlejuice shows up. He's supposed to be the guy to help make things go back to what it was, or at least feel like what it was. And boy, it is just, I fell asleep halfway through. I got to finish watching it as an adult, but damn, the jokes were great. Brendan, you were saying that what about PG?
Well, yeah, so this was the late 80s, since before I think the MPA was really strict about certain things, including language. Or violence, so he literally says "nice effing model," and he grabs his crotch, and it's a PG movie, and I don't think that would fly in today's Hollywood. I don't think you could just drop the F-bomb and then grab your crotch and then be like, parental guidance suggested. I think that would at least make it a PG-13. But I'm not even sure if they had PG-13 yet, because I think Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, Gremlins. There's a few movies from back then where it really kind of pushed the boundary of like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be letting our kids watch.
So that's something I just learned, and it's funny. I was just typing down the question or a side note. How often is MPAA or MPIAA?
They might have changed now. It might just be the MPA, because it used to be the
I know it was 4
Picture
letters.
Association of America, but now I think it's just the Motion Picture Association. Cause it might
okay, so it was MPAA, because like when I did Perfect System, like I remember I stared at the MPAA blue intro logo so much, like editing it. And I remember seeing 4 letters. I think it's MPAA. Mm-hmm. But how often do they update like the rule? I guess it's got to be like an annual thing, right?
Well, so I have theories about that. I think that certain directors are allowed leeway. I think Spielberg and what's his name, who I just mentioned,
cigarette business,
the guy from Ridley Scott. I think Ridley Scott and Steven Spielberg are allowed to push certain things that would either push their rated R movie into NC-17 territory, or would push their PG-13 movie into our territory. But I don't know. There are some loopholes where there's some F-bomb loopholes you can use, but there's other times I'm like, they said it 3 times. Dude's head got blown off. There's no way you should be taking a 13-year-old to see this, even though I saw way worse movies at a way younger age. But
yeah, no, I love the rating system, and I made this cool video recently. Or I'm on the whole lyric video vibe because like I'm all about the lyrics, but finding a way to incorporate or just the way the songs play in my head, right? Like I'm trying to find a way to do the video. So like for Bob Barker Drip, it's very like how that video was, like on the stage, Bob Barker, Drew Carey, perfect system. Like I remember I had Back to the Future first on a VHS tape when I first watched the first couple, and like on that style TV, I was so excited when I found that. But ultimately, what it inspired me to do is now when I do my videos, I'm always going to include like the rating. Like if it's a G-rated video, or like in that case, that's why I put the PG. But also like on some of my songs on the upcoming album, I'm sampling. So we got the rated M for mature. Like for the super, super, super songs. Like if I don't want my Aunt Tanya to hear it, or any 13-year-old to hear it, or it's funny, I think my wife, like one of her kids, she nannies, like saw the back of her phone, looked at my name, found Bronco, and it was like, ooh. But like for the kids,
where's
like
the
that,
Kids Bop version?
Exactly. That's what I'm working on for all the songs, because every song we need a clean version, like the radio cut. We need the karaoke instrumental up on there, right? And then, so I'm making visuals for those two. But I love how you just said the Kids Bop version. Wow.
Yeah, I remember. You remember the Kids Bop?
This is why I love this
now
motherfucker,
that's what I call
bro.
music.
Best friend, dude. Holy shit. I used to listen to him all the time, bro.
You used to get the CDs at the store.
Kids. I bet you, too, with music now, I bet you that's an AI-able thing. The fact that they could use AI to like me. I had this kid from my hometown. He did a video where he took, whose voice? I think it was Kendrick's voice. And he took a new beat and he made like a Kendrick song, but through AI. And he did it as an informational, like, yo, I found this new tool. And then, yo, I did this. And then, yo, I did this. And then realized I could do this. And he made like a video, and ultimately it was like a flawless song. But someone's producer from like TDE or something like saw the video, retweeted it, but was like, this is so fucked up, blah, blah, blah. He's the OG gangster, right? And like it's not the kid's fault. Like I felt so torn because it was so beautiful what he discovered, but in a way, someone immediately pointed out the worst thing that could do. And like, I mean, it was inevitable to happen. It's not his fault. Like he's pushing the boundary. He's creative on another level. Much respect. But yeah, I'm sure the shit's out, because now that with the AI's doing with videos, like I don't know if you've checked out this shit, but that's how I'm doing a lot. I'm not using AI for my stuff. I'll shout out. I'm using CapCut Hard. Always iMovie bare bone, but CapCut, it's like it's not even just condiments, bro. Like if you look at it like a sandwich, CapCut's the toasting, the toppings, the mayo. Jinx.
For sure.
The fucking, I always get I get the veggie patty, and then I get mayo with chipotle sauce, a little spice. The CapCut is,
I need that USDA 100% beef.
Beef.
Who's got
Brendan's
the
a
beef?
beef eater, right? No, it's those.
Sorry, Hindus out there.
The baked glaze, the motherfucking, your little raspberry cheesecake cookies, right? It's the CapCut can not only like filter, it can just do so much other shit. Like, whoa. Like I feel like CapCut now gave me the title video editor, because I can really do some shit on my own now that I never had the ability to before. Shout out Car Business for fucking teaching me all these car programs. We gotta learn something like to pay your bills. Like it's different. You look at it as you just got to. But like creatively, I've always had the gift of writing music, and it always just flows out. But I've never had the technical gift like that. Like not for video production. Like I know how to use computers. I know how to torrent. I used to torrent movies as a kid. Don't do it though. I very much believe in.
Would you steal a handbag? Would you steal a car? Would you steal a movie?
Not
Download
now.
a movie. Stealing.
Oh man.
Remember those?
Yeah, now that you say it, yeah. But it's true though, bro. Like when I was a kid, I feel like part of being a kid is downloading your movies illegally, but another part of growing
And
up
mess up your computer too.
and fucking up like nowadays you can protect your shit. Like and still like it ultimately, I think if you truly love it the way I do, like I have mad respect when I pay for my movies, like, because I care about the artist. Like, I want people to pay for my art. So, like, but it's funny, I had to bootleg this fucking douche. I'm not even going to say it, but, like, this former director, like, hit him up for a copy of a video. He's like, hey, let me check 2 months ago. Then he's straight Casper, ghost. I hit him, nothing. I have my other homie who knew him hit him. And then he, he flipped or whatever. I forget the term he used, but he's like, yeah, he spazzed. And then boom. So I had to bootleg my own fucking video. And the dude blocked me. I'm like, what the hell, bro? I mean, that's a side point. Point is it was awkward bootlegging my own content. It just felt bad. It felt bad. But, like, no matter what, like, that aside, like, I think you build respect for people's work, whether it's in film, whether it's a waitress, right? Number one occupation for high school graduate, for females in the U.S. Thank you, Quentin Tarantino. But, like, seriously, like, you build respect for that shit, for people's work, their grind. I got to that point, maybe I was, like, 23, 24. Like, I'm 27 now. It's like I've only been at that, so I feel like I had that immaturity for a while, but, like, I feel good when I pay my cologne in full price, because I stole so many as a kid. These fucking testers, bro. So now I'm like, damn, I owe it to the company hard. Always pay full price. Like, I feel good for paying the full price, trying to balance it back. But no, it's a big part. Like pay for your movies, rent your movies. Bro, if you are broke, go to Goodwill. Movies are $1. Color of the week is 50% off. So fucking movies are 50 cents. Blu-rays are $1.
Do you remember when we worked at Starbucks and people would do the thing where they would pay for the person, like, either behind or ahead of them? Do people still
pay it forward?
Yeah, do people still do that?
Not in the car business.
Well, yeah, definitely not in the car business. No one's like, let me buy your car for you.
I bet you, though, that had to happen. So, dude, if I get rich, you mark my words, bro. If I ever become a millionaire, I will pay it forward, cops. I want to whip. Because I believe in that shit. Bro, that's one of my favorite parts of my job. When it comes down, I get an approval from a bank. I gotta cut the deal $1,000 or $2,000, and that might even send us negative on the front. Like, selling a car isn't just fucking about the numbers. Who's the salesperson? How many cars does he have out? How many hours did he put in this deal? Is there a trade? Is the customer local? Are they going to give you a 5-star survey? Can you get reviews out of them? Are they buying service? Are they buying a warranty? Who do they know who's buying a car? Like, the list is endless of why you should do business with people, numbers aside. If you can make it happen numerically on paper, I love being that guy. That's how I pay it forward. But at that shit, I haven't seen that happen at all recently. But I'm also not working in retail. Mm-hmm. But, dude, it sucks. The first Starbucks I was at before I met you, Huntsman Square over in Burke, they're renovating it right now, and, like, I'm praying that they get some spirit when it's back. It's not a drive-through. It's like an OG store, bro. Like, were you ever at a non-drive-through store?
I worked spare shifts.
Like, okay, I love it. You got the asterisk.
Yeah, where like someone like, man. Someone needs.
Wait, in the mall?
I worked at the mall, the Fair Oaks Mall. I've also worked at. I guess the other one was a drive-through too. The other drive-through, the one on the corner there, like the.
It's different when it's a non-drive-through store because your customers, 65 to 70% are repeat. They come in, they fucking. The girls that come in, they're lonely, they're hot, they want to talk to you.
Can I shout out a customer from our Starbucks, though?
There, yeah.
Shout out to the guy who gave me the deluxe set of, I want to say it was 7, David Fincher 7.
Oh my
Thank
God.
You. Wish I knew your name.
What's in the bag?
What's in the bag? It's
Such
your
a
wife
good movie,
saying.
bro. And you can like that movie again. Well, we won't go there. If you know, you know. But back to Starbucks, like, it's different when it's a neighborhood feel. That store had some neighborhood feelings. The store Brendan and I met at, because it was a drive-through, but it was right outside the mall off of Route 50 in Fairfax. So hella traffic. You had the Remax upstairs. I
forgot about that. There was an office.
There's a realtor there, man. I forget this guy's name, but he peeped so much game to me. Motherfucker helped me learn how to tie a tie. But, like, that's so. I hope that he's still there so I can, like, go, like, pay him, go buy him a cup of coffee. Right? Yeah. Like it's crazy what your customers can do for you at Starbucks. Like, Brendan and I met as baristas together, but, like, ultimately the relationships I formed. So, wow, this is a mind fuck, man. It's like gonna make me cry. The studio we're fucking sitting in right now. It's called Glass River Media, right? It's owned by Kirk Westwood, Jeff and Lori Carpenter. They were my Starbucks customers, or Jeff and Lori. Lori specific. She just come in there, she sit on her laptop, and, like, after, a month, first you learn someone's name. After a week of them coming a couple of times a week, you learn their order. And once you learn their order, you just start learning them throughout the process. But when they sit in there on their laptops, like Laura used to sit in there on her laptop and talk. She'd be saying she's editing videos. I'm like, I make music. And she's like, nah, blah, blah, blah. And like, eventually I jokingly was like, yo, you shoot a music video for me. And like, look where we're at now. Like, we've now done multiple videos. We fucking burned a house down in a video. We're sitting in Arlington on the 6th floor of the fucking Navy Yard building, all over a cup of coffee. Like, that's why I got this shit tattooed on my arm. Like, Starbucks such a pillar of my life. But I met so many great people. But nearly all my master clips. Another great videographer, a brother to me, dude. Alden, Sir Alden. We only have Sir Alden and Suburban Snoop because of Howard Schultz. Like, because of, like, Starbucks just did so much for my life and my connections, especially in the area like the DMV, or if you're in a city like New York or LA. Like, you never know what customer is going to walk through that door. For my old investor, Greg.
Were you working the day that we served Tim Kaine, the dude who ran with Hillary Clinton, some coffee? That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. It's different. Because, like, I don't even, I'm not the biggest, like, Tim Kaine fan, or I wasn't at the time. Though. But it's different. Like, even if you don't have respect, like, for a politician walking in there, ultimately you have to respect them, bro. Like, you stand for the president. You stand, you shake their hand, you whatever photo. We did some shit with, it's crazy. I remember now it was a barista competition. But you weren't there. I hadn't met you yet because I was repping Huntsman still. I met this guy Darius, and he goes by God, or he did at the time, rap name wise. And I think he just goes by Darius now, the one on the mic. He lives out in Virginia Beach now. But Darius is important to me because we went up against each other as a Potomac Mills Starbucks right outside the mall. They had but they had some chick, Barbara Comstock there. I remember it was a politician where I did not agree with her agenda at the time. But I got a picture with her when I was on bar. And like Darius and I went up. He beat me in the competition, but he was oh no, that's okay. We'll get it after. He was another barista. He also rapped. He also could like just see the packed smile on my face and like I was big on telling people about like, yo, my music. And I was going by Ahab Amari at the time.
I remember that. Because
Ahab was like, Moby Dick's such a big book for me, and Captain Ahab, like my fucking...
Was it Ahab and Sir Alden, or Sir Alden and Ahab? It was the original, like...
original name was Ahab Sir Alden, because I went by Ahab, and he went by Sir Alden the whole time. And, like, Darius, though, ultimately, after we met, I went to his crib, because, like, I was trapping hard, and, like, every time I could find someone who smoked weed, I'd be like, yeah, let's smoke. And when we were smoking, I'd just, like, have my shit on me and be like, yeah, yo. Like, if I fucked with you by the end, whatever, and, like, obviously vetted that you weren't law enforcement, like I fucking would like, say some pack.
You're telling me you don't like wearing an NYPD hat to the party? Be like, what's up, young people? How's it going?
And like, but Darius, ultimately, we started rapping. He gave me that name Suburban Snoop that night. He's the first one he blessed me with that name. He could freestyle, bro. That always made me like, that's sick. It's just I'm not gifted in that way. I can't freestyle. I can't. Like, I do it just like how my English teacher in 6th grade taught me, Mr. Ulmer. Go to his ice cream shop in Shippensburg. It's Goose Brothers Ice Cream, right at the bottom there. But anyway, first copy, second copy, third copy, final draft. You got your 3 sets of rough and then final. Like, I literally use the same, we call it a 4-square in the car business. We really can't use them anymore. They're like illegal on paper. Because you put like money down, the car you want, the trade your trade in, and then fucking like an X. So like $5,000 down, trade. How much you owe, whatever. If I can get you to this payment, yes. But like ultimately you can inflate. It's called payment packing. It's illegal, bro. Like, it's illegal because it's misleading and people don't know how numbers work. Or your average person does not know how that shit works. But when it comes to English, I use the same 4-square, like we use it for like my first, second, third, and then to turn in the ideas of a song like into a shit. Like, it's crazy, bro. But fucking pay attention, you 6th graders, if you're watching this.
They're kind of, the next generation coming up is a little lucky because when I graduated high school, it was before Virginia put the personal finance classes in. So now you're getting taught how to actually, like, I think, file your taxes and do all these other things, kind of manage your own personal finance. I got out of high school and I was like, oh yeah, here's my $800 credit card. Shing! And that kind of messed me up for a few years. So so just watch out for that too.
Taught me hard about, I mean, it's pretty, 3 rules with finances. Open as many accounts as you can possible. Always make your payment on time. never use more than 30%. Like if you have one card open and you use your 30 and you're always paying it on time, like it's not really going to do much because you only have one line. We call that a thin file. Sometimes I'll be like, this is like a wet napkin, like when there's no credit. Metaphor. We use a lot of metaphors.
That sounds like the economy.
Shit. Yeah. And like, so like if you get a bunch of cards though, even if you're not using it, or let's say you're using 5% of your credit, you got, $1,000 limit and you use $20, $30, whatever a month. Just make your minimum payment on that, bro. The more lines of credit you open and the more payments you make on time, it'll show to an outside lender, whoa, Brendan can pay 20 people every month on time, and he's not even really using much of the money he could use. He's so responsible. When ultimately, like, if you need to borrow $1,000, it's better to borrow $100 from 10 different people and pay them all back on time. I know that your eyes just went, whoa.
That's like borrowing a lot of Peter, Pauls, and Marys to pay back Tom at the end.
But if you can, what's the difference between borrowing 1,000 from one person and 100 from 10 people? If you pay them all back at the same time, you build so much more credit. You have so much more depth of a file. It helps you in longevity. The biggest thing is we're so lucky we have technology, the advent of technology. Like, that's why I got my fucking notes up right here. And as you say shit, or as I've heard shit, because I've heard I got a lyric idea, a movie thing, a question to research for next time, an idea now, the Kids Bop Eyes version. I think that's how we got onto this from like AI, bro. I'm trying to think how we got back to this con. This is the other reason I love Brendan. Time flies, bro. We got only 28 more minutes.
I love and appreciate you because you and I think, are on the opposite side of the technology AI. Like, you embrace all this new AI technology. I'm like an old man.
You're like Terminator.
I'm like John Connor.
Alden was so about that. Alden was like,
you can't trust the machines.
It's gonna fuck it up. Who knows? I mean, like, I look at it as, if you look at every movie ever, not just movies, but like, we always come out on top. Not just America, not just the USA, but humans. Because the USA is not just there, humans always come out and prevail. Like, I feel like we'll find a fucking way. If we found a way this far, and evolution and Darwinism took us this far, bro, even if only a couple of us go, like, these people are going up in the, did you hear about this new private space mission?
I didn't hear about that, but I did hear about the dudes who are stuck. There's like a woman and who are stuck in space right now. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah, that's like small talk though. Like, that's expected, bro.
It's expected. I don't want to be stuck in space.
I hate to say it, Boeing. Like, bro, dude, if you've read or seen anything about all the things that, bro, my grandpa took me to the Boeing factory.
You don't think they're a well-respected, good?
Boeing is like Ford. Like, yeah, you have two cool products. Like, we'll shout out Ronan's dad's Bronco, and like a Shelby Mustang, maybe your Raptor. But like the rest of the shit, like, be breaking, bro. Like, after Tooth, like the planes, I feel like we do, like, whatever. But ultimately, it's not a surprise to me. Like, and we know now from that one tragedy of those people re-entered and it burned up because the little. That's why they're like, whoa, nothing could be wrong, and they do that inspection because they
100% every time.
Yeah, but do you see what SpaceX? Back to what I was saying, and like whatever with Boeing, SpaceX. Space.
The final frontier.
It's the final frontier. They're sending four, yeah, because I looked at the picture, I read the article in depth. Let me channel my inner memory. They're sending 4 people to the depths of some rock ridge shit past the moon, further than humans gone before. It was 2 females, 2 guys, and one of the guys is like either the CEO or deep partner, super bajillionaire in the company, and he believes in it that hard. Like, I trust SpaceX like much more than any other company like that. Like,
well, I'm going to ask you a question. So Jeff Bezos has actually been to space. I don't know which company he
Blue
used.
Origin.
So which company is that?
It's his company.
So what?
It's his company.
If what's his name, Elon Musk, trusts his product so much, why doesn't he put his money where his mouth is and go to space?
I think that's a question for Elon. I think Elon's.
That is.
I always say this thing a lot, and I'll say it again. Like, Elon, just like, he's great, he's a genius, but he's got his dick in everything. And also, like any genius, he's a dick himself. Read Walter Isaacson's book about Steve Jobs.
I was
Beautiful
say exactly
guy.
Like Steve Jobs.
Oh,
yeah.
You see how we read just but like that book, if you read it, it's so perfect because it gives you the real dose. It'll give you a respect for Steve, but like, I feel like it's part of the reason Kanye went off the cliff crazy, and a lot of these like, I like this.
Stephen Hawking used to like get angry at his wife or his nurse, like he'd be kind of like texting her like angry stuff. He'd be like, "You're blah blah blah," you know.
He's so.
I don't want to do the voice, but you know, I'm just saying he.
But like ultimately, like, I feel like if someone becomes a genius in one respect, like I love when people say, yo, you're awesome, your music's great. But I actually really don't want people to look at me and ever say the word genius, because I feel when you become a genius, you become unbalanced in some respect. Think of like Rain Man. Like Rain Man could do
the Aviator. What's his name?
Yeah, bro. Maybe it's like, I don't want to say a spectrum thing, but ultimately, yeah. Like I don't ever, like I like to be like, always have my
I should say Martin Scorsese earlier.
Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese, your director.
I was surprised. Yeah, I think my top five, I think Kubrick, Scorsese, Ridley Scott, Steven Spielberg.
Everyone's got to have Spielberg. You can't not have Spielberg. Like, the dude has made so many... I know every kid's seen E.T.
Yeah.
Like, everybody loves the Indiana Jones movies, at least the first three.
Oh, and then I either had Adam McKay or Michael Mann. And I know I threw in honorable mentions of Christopher Nolan. Let's see, I did Jordan Peele, honorable mention.
Ridley Scott's brother, R.I.P. What's his name? Tony Scott was good.
I would also put Ron Howard. I think Ron Howard actually might have been my fifth.
Have you seen Rush?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Are
W? Is that what we watched up in PA?
Oh, W was good, too.
W. So good, bro.
Are you like the driver in Rush? Can you like tell there's something wrong with the car from just your butt? Like, can you see like, oh, there's something wrong with the engine?
So like I can't, so I feel my obsession and love and connection to cars, especially from the car business, is totally to the driving, the connection, the feel. I appraise cars as a used car manager all day. So every day I get in at least 15 cars. Drive them around the lot or up the street. I smell them, feel it, take pictures. I rent my own cars on tour, so I take pictures for that. So, like, every day I take over 100, 150 pictures on my phone for it. It's actually fucking my space up. I'm going to get a new iPhone. I'm serious. But, like, it's so cool.
The cloud?
The cloud, like, it's there, but, like, my phone, like, it's not loading fast anymore. It's, like, I don't want to say glitching, but when you use all the memory of anything, it's just harder for it to think. But, so now I get to see so many. I'm trying to incorporate that even more every time. Bro, even my music blows up. I've already talked to my GM. Like, he's always going to let me come back so I can get snaps of, like, what. Because it's so cool what I get to do. And I have such a connection.
What's the car you're driving right now?
We took a...
Or is that the Grand Jeep? The Jeep...
No. This is... No. Land Rover.
That's the Land Rover. And it's got that big... The emblem that pops out?
Oh, yeah. So he's talking about that illuminated entry. That's what we would call it. That's the fancy name. It's a fancy thing. But you don't really show it off in the dark. So if you're in like a sunlight environment, like a good salesperson, you always know your roots and like where a dark spot would be. Like when I was sold, I was at Farish. Illuminated entry, though, would only hit like the top trim $50,000 Grand Cherokees at that point. But we took a Defender here. There's actually a really cool Defender song. It's a Brazilian song. Entro na Defender. Oh, it's so good. Bro, it's these like Brazilian cowboys. These are like, I'm trying to think. They make the engine sound. They're like, hecky, 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 hecky. So every time I'm in the Defender, bro, it's funny. I've been watching it out on my lot. Like, this is a big-ass hunk of metal. Fucking thing just sits. I haven't gotten any leads on it. The only leads I've gotten on it are like 400 credit scores. Like, ultimately, even though like you can get shitty credit bought, you can't get shitty credit bought on a fucking $60,000 Land Rover. It's just like impossible. Such a niche market. But driving that car, I drove that car here because it was dead the other day when I went to go get a window sticker out of it. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
To make sure the battery's good.
Well, yeah, and like your car's sitting on the lots, like as a used cars, bro. Like you got lights coming on.
I see. Is that a used car?
Yeah.
What?
Is it a used car? It's like 2021.
I mean, do you ever get the case of like an older model car but has never been used, kind of sitting or chilling for a while?
My Lincoln, I have a 97, like my personal Lincoln. It's fucking, actually, these white walls finally getting put on this week. Shout out Mitsubishi
white walls. White walls. When are you going to get the suspension?
They really took the air suspension out because it was bad that year, but it's a 97 Lincoln Town Car Executive. It's the same car, 1 year older or newer, because I think in Heat was 1998 Town Car Getaway. Well,
it also looks similar. Like there was a whole like generation of those cars. It looks very similar to like the Triple X car, like whatever that. I think that
bitch has 50,000, like died 54 miles, like 50,000. Bro, that car was born like when you look on the Carfax, it was born like 5 days before I was. February 9th is when it was technically hit the road, first purchased, and like I was born on Valentine's Day, but 97. So it's like. That car is the same.
Oh, the stressful Valentine's Day.
Think about, and you were born on what day?
February 8th, yeah.
Oh my God, Brendan, this car It was the 9th. That's so crazy. But seriously, it's got 50,000 miles, almost 51K. So, like, it does happen. My old GM, Matt, the one I showed out earlier, he traded that. And then I bugged him forever. And he finally sold it to me. Fucking so cool. It's such a cool car, bro. It's purple. You can see in the video soon. These white walls on it. I got some tints on it that are a little too dark. You can't see at night.
You just need the dude who looks like me from Triple X to put all the gadgets in there for you. And then you can, like, when you get stuck in DMV traffic, you'd be like, bop, and then just, open up the space and just go.
But there's a lot of cars that we got that are, like, low miles. People don't use them. Grand Highlander recently, this chick died unexpectedly, unfortunately. Like, someone bought a car, and, like, 2 months later, she passed away. So her husband came back, sold us the car. Like, even though, like, and ultimately it's not a charity, it's a business. It's my job to maximize the gross of the business. So even though, like, I definitely hit, like, a pretty low number, because I was expecting it to be like, oh, CarMax. And then when they say that, I'm a CarMax dealer. I just don't ever say it right away. I'll take their CarMax offer, put it in the system. I can sell the car to CarMax and get paid like $300-400 more. That's how CarMax gets every car, bro. Like, if you go to CarMax and then you go to the dealership, if it's a CarMax dealership, they'll give you it because the dealer will take the car. And if it doesn't make sense for us to keep it, service it, re-retail it, because CarMax is always ahead. They're going to CarMax ships the car to whatever market there aren't any. So they're always $2,000 higher. Like, they get these cars back from the deal. It's like CarMax figured out a way to make friends with the enemy. I hate to say it. I've always hated them.
Gotta keep your enemies close.
Yeah, I've always hated CarMax as an auto industry employee because they fuck your gross in the deal. You're a sales guy. You get paid off a gross profit, or some stores do that. Some stores do it differently where it's based on units for them. But ultimately, like, when you are paid on gross and then, like, a customer just busts that out on you and your $3,000 profit goes to zero, the dealership's always going to sell a car at zero because, like, you get processing fee. The car went through service. You got the parts from service. You got the service. So, like, they get fed the service department. We are the biggest service department customer, the used car department. So even if that breaks even, it, like, makes sense. It like, pushes it all along, bro. When they lose money on a deal, they can write it off as a loss. Then they get that less back attack. Like, bro, it's just this endless, like, type shit. But yeah, no, I don't even know. How do we get to... Oh, yeah, we were talking about the car shit and my connection to cars. Ultimately...
How do you feel about, like, the AI in the cars that's coming? Because it's obviously, like, I can't stop
I'm never going to use self-driving. I don't believe in it.
It's kind of wild, right? They're going to get, like, Minority Report. They're going to have cars driving along.
They got it already now, these digital taxis. And, like,
I've seen on
Reddit,
like,
they all had, like, a little, like, malfunction, but they all started honking at each other, and they caused their own... traffic they like blocked a huge intersection.
Have you seen the cops try to pull them over, and then the cops like get out the car and be like, "Who's driving through the red light?" And it just leaves.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's great, but like ultimately, I love the AI stuff with the safe driving. Like my 2023 Beamer, me and you have a 2023 X3. That car, and like I've rented it on Turo the last ever since we got it. That's how I justified to her to get it. Like, yo, we can break even. I mean, and like we're actually like making $1,000 $1,500. That shit's been funding my music. Shout out BMW. But the bitch has 30,000 miles on it, and it still drives like a brand new car. And I'm talking like when you got the safety features on, you go from the lane, it guides you back gently. Like when I sold cars as a sales guy in 2018, the lane sense correct was like boom, and you would have to overcorrect with your hand, or else it sometimes slides you like off the shit. I always like to do this thing when I would test drive with customers. I would get them. You show them the car. You start at the front. You work your way around backwards so you end at the driver's seat. You keep the key in your hand. You keep the car locked so they can't just open it. You say, come follow me. Like, you subconsciously take control. Start at the front. Work your way around that whip. And then once you open it, you put them in. You, as a salesperson, get in the driver's seat. I would leave Farish, and I would drive up like a mile. Not even a mile, bro. It's like a half mile to the high school. You know Fairfax High School?
Yeah.
Over. And then I would do my 6-po there. Because even if the school was packed, there was always some open spaces. And, like, I even knew some of the people in the parking lot there. And, like, asked ahead of time, is this okay? Like, if you want, like, I remember I was ready to pitch them, like, get some school kids they could watch. You could show them, like, something, like, what we're doing, like, whatever. Like, and they use teachers to block the shit. So a teacher's never going to stop learning. Or I just remember right away, the guy I asked, like, was right away, like, oh, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Like, it was just some big black dude, some old black. But, like, anyway, like, I'd 6-po my car there then, take him there, and I'd take my hands off the wheel to show the shit. Because if you did it on the road, it would jerk. But ultimately, you want to take your hands off the wheel and let the car drift and let it show the correction in the self park and like all that. But you want to show the features off, but damn, this shit come a long way. I feel like BMW mastered it. Probably like the Mercedes of the world. They're really the only one up there, I feel like, with BMW. BMW's better with customer service. So 4 years service, 4 years warranty, 50K miles with the brand new cars. You get treated like royalty when you're there. You can't go wrong with a Beamer, bro. You just can't. Like, it's fucking top. They get you on the service so that, like, after 4 years, you can't get service anywhere else because you're used to, like, flawless, walk in, walk out. They actually clean and vacuum your car, like, immaculately. Our Beamer store in Rockville is like a big-ass parking garage, but it holds, like, 400 or 500 cars, like, stupid amount. It's probably, like, 1, 2, 3.
Do you know
13, 14 level. I think 14 levels high. It's so huge.
Do you know about the mild film controversy surrounding BMW?
No.
So for a little bit in the 90s with Pierce Brosnan, James Bond had a BMW instead of an Aston Martin, and that whole James Bond community...
They don't like BMW?
Well, it was just because he didn't have an Aston Martin anymore.
So?
Which is weird because he's had like a Lotus Esprit, I think, at some point. But I just remembered like watching those movies as a kid with my dad, and he'd be like, it's a BMW. He doesn't have the Aston Martin. Sean Connery had the Aston Martin.
Oh my God.
Not in that voice. That's not what my father sounds like, but that's, you know, like, and he also didn't complain like that. I don't know why I made him sound like an old person on South Park. Stan's grandpa.
Yeah, I was talking about this recently, like how does shit play in your head? Or I talked about it with someone at work recently. I think my partner Brad but like I know how your conscious works because we've talked about it too. But like think about it, like do you think visually? Do you have a voice in your head that is your own voice? Some people I read
I have a Cajun man. My voice is just yelling at me weird recipes I can't understand.
Dude, I read stuff in a bunch of different voices. I don't think about it. My brain, like words, like I read Suburban Snoop. Like I read it in the song "The Burbs." One of my final bars is "Suburban Snoop Dogg" or this, but I read it as Suburban Snoop. Like how my voice is in that song is how I read my logo. But like when I read like certain places or any sign that's like shaped certain ways, it's like different voices from movies or like the movie intro guy. It's like in a world. In a world. I don't know why I'm doing my hand for him. Like I have him like in a world.
Just ASMR.
Oh yeah, that. We had to. Wait, can we get the shout out the Zuzu Papaya Punch from my man's Jason?
I don't know if you've ever seen people do the...
Try to get the ASMR.
The ASMR. I don't know if you've ever seen the parody ones where the dude will have like the ear mics, and then he'll cover it in peanut butter, and the dog will come up and just like in the ear. You're like, no, you're listening to it. It's like, it's not good.
Oh, it's funny. We were talking about it. Yo, so BMW though, for real. If I was Batman, that would be the only brand my car could be. Or my Batman,
it's Batman Mobile. Batman Mobile.
That's so good though. Yeah, BMW. I think it's what Bavarian Motor Works is what it's like short for. But I have my Beamer key right here. I forgot I stood that up. I hope there's like a shot somehow.
Do you like Mercedes as well? Because I used to live in Stuttgart, which is where the Mercedes-Benz like headquarters is, which is pretty cool.
Big lighter.
Big lighter, no safety.
This one has a safety.
Oh, that one.
It's Jew's lighter. I grabbed it fast, but it feels so weird when I try to hit it. I'm like, ow, my finger.
Because you have to put that pressure down.
That's why first track of the fucking album, Big Light and No Safety. Such a good shit. But no, yeah, BMW best. You check Consumer Reports, but the product, it's immaculate. The driving's immaculate. Ultimately, what I was building up to though about 10 minutes ago, after all our little side choo-choo train convos. I am connected to cars, but like I can't look at cars like a tech. Like I always tell people, techs are a different breed. They truly are a different breed of people because I can't look at a car and be like, oh yeah, like in Rush. You asked me, can I feel the car like you can in Rush? I can feel when something's wrong. Like I drive every car I trade, almost every car I trade, I try to drive home. Like it's rare I take the car like the Defender because that's a retail piece. So like before I put it back, I need to vacuum. I got to clean it like a Toro car, vacuum it, wash it. These trades, I can throw my trash on the floor. I go through them for the change. Yeah, dude, I probably get like $10,
There's toys
$15
in the Ranger.
a week.
There's like McDonald's toys.
Where?
It's just in the cup holder in the back.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Weird.
That's probably one of the coolest parts of being in the car business. Like, it's cool as a sales guy, but as a fucking manager, trading car, I check all the trades in because I touch my trade. Like, it's the thing, you appreciate your. I used to have this one crazy used car manager, bro. He used to have this idea: you can fuck my wife before you take my cars. That's how I used to say it. He's crazy, but strong as shit. Strong, too. But ultimately, like, you care about your inventory. Now I care about my wife quite a bit more, but like, my cars are my babies, and like. So every car you trade, even if it's a wholesale, whatever the fuck, you have a sense of ownership to it. Being a used car manager, a new car manager, you're owning your own inventory with no overhead. The dealership pays the overhead. So like, it's up to you to sell it. You make what you sell it for, all that shit. So like, I appreciate it. I follow the rules. I put them in the whatevers. It's good to drive them home though, because like, I traded this 19 Camry the other day, 77,000 miles. Kind of a very dirty car. Oh my god, pistachio shit's in the cover.
Delicious.
But it smelled really good because it was a bitch's car. They always use that fake perfume. So yeah, I needed to smell good. It smelled like not bad, I guess, or I smelled way worse from whips, whatever.
Newports and fruit perfume.
It's cool when they smell like Pack or something. And I was like, whoa, well, like, you know what I mean? You're wholesaling the car.
So is this OG diesel?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sour, what is it?
Sour diesel. Yeah. Bro, it's crazy.
Lilac diesel?
I found a couple, not as a manager, but as a salesperson, I found 2 zips once in a whip. I replaced a car pretty recently where there was like $10,000 like in a box on the front. And like, I remember it was a kid, he was high as shit. He came to get his car appraised, but he didn't realize we were going to drive it. And like Pierre, my salesperson's like, yo, he started freaking out when he got up, apparently, like when I got up to go walk out to his car and click it, and he saw me out there, he got up, apparently started walking outside. But I just get in the car, like I go up, I scan the VIN in the door, and I just get in and drive it. And then when I drive it, I always stop it in a different spot so the customer doesn't know where it's at, right? Just for like a little fun, But like, it also promotes the subconscious idea they're losing their car. And if someone starts freaking out, I know that I got to get involved early to try to really find a deal or pin a commitment. Versus if someone's not like, where's my car? Where's my car? They're ready to buy. So I can hit them at a higher number. But ultimately with the trade shit too, like then I take the pictures once I'm back, like with it. And this one whip I took home the other night was like, like the whole way. I remember Jules was like, what is that? Now I couldn't tell you if
that's
it's
not
like,
the German engineering I know.
I was talking to my partner, Brad, like, yo, I don't know if this is the brakes. I don't know if this is something with like the axle. He's just like, well, we're going to run it. We're going to run it through shop, see what the shop says, the bill. And then if it's a bad bill, we'll put it to wholesale. They put the car online. Someone from the border buys it usually. They send a transporter. You just give them the keys. Motherfucking as is. No questions asked. I hate to say it, we're down to 6 minutes, 55 seconds. Oh, my gosh. 2 things I wanted to just mention real quick. I know we were talking about it on the way here. Top coffee scenes from movies, right?
I wish I could have thought of more because I think we both came together and thought of like 3, but we got to figure out 2 more for this. We have a top 5.
Well, let's start because that'll at least get the
3 out the way.
Flowing.
Yeah.
So first one I was thinking was that Paul Rudd scene. I think it's from Role Models, but he flips out in the Starbucks line.
Talking about the different languages.
Grande
he's like,
to a venti.
Yeah, Italian, Spanish. Why don't you just say medium, large? Yeah.
Right.
I know in The Hateful Eight, Kurt Russell, he's complaining about the coffee that Bob makes. Mm-hmm. And then, what was the other one we were talking about? The really good
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights, that's right.
The espresso and he's just driving.
Has anyone thought about how it does not make sense that first of all, is that a macchiato? Does he have a macchiato?
That's an original macchiato, though. Starbucks terms aren't real.
Oh, I see.
They're janks. Okay. Howard was very American and he's like, I'm going to take the shit that sounds cool. But like I guess my Grande Blanc Quad Soy Flat White, that's probably one of the only drinks that's like true to coffee culture, or like a single espresso, doppio espresso. Mm. But like these caramel macchiato shits and stuff, that's not a true. What he's talking about, my macchiato. That's like what they call macchiato, I think, in Italy. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how is he drinking that little tiny? You know those little mugs, the tiny finger little hold.
Oh, I would put Reservoir Dogs intro there. They don't mention coffee, but they're drinking coffee. Sure. It's one of my favorite intros. One of my favorite convo. I use that movie to justify tipping when people are like, "Yo, you're tipping too much." I'm like, "Bruh,
there's all this Mr. Pinks out here." Are you
really gonna be Mr. Pink out here, bro? Like motherfucking Steve Buscemi's, yo. Shout out Steve Buscemi.
Steve. Gotta
I have a place
steam.
we can get some pancakes. That we can get some hookers.
This isn't really a coffee scene, but he
Oh,
tries to get coffee.
Fargo, any scene, bro.
Is there any scene? Yeah, there
I'm
gets her
talking
are.
about
Because she's drinking coffee on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. And the Fargo scene, Fargo's the cars, the movie, but also Fargo with the TV show.
With the Hobbit, with the what's his name, the dude from he plays
I know,
Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah,
he plays the
Bilbo
Hobbit,
Baggins.
the title character of the Hobbit. I'm not Gerald Tolkien. That's what he called him.
Fucking but the dad though, Molly's dad in the TV show, season 2. Right? Yeah. Or is it season 1?
But I was gonna say same part Ryan when Tom Hanks tries to go up to the little like the weird espresso machine and he's just like, I don't know. I'm an American, I drink drip coffee. This is too complex for me.
That story's for me.
That story's for me.
I love Saving Private Ryan. You brought that quote up to me the other day. It's such a great way to end a movie. Shout out Tom Hanks.
Hanks.
Yeah, quick one. Movies on my upcoming album. This is The Burbs. Shout out Sir Alden, just because, I know I see 4 minutes. So bad, so sad. But Burbs, right? Tom Hanks, so good. We got, my latest single that's out already, Perfect System.
Perfect System.
It's funny, Alden actually, though, I know when he made that beat, he originally was Tron inspired. It's so cool when the day he showed it to me, like I remember, it's something how my brain catalogs music. When I listen to a song, I always can envision the first time I heard it. Like where I was, what I was doing, what I was trying. Like I remember being in Alden's basement, and when he played it, I remember he like looked back. He sat on his piano. He has 2 speakers. He looked like he's like, "You're not gonna believe this." Well, and when he turned it on, he played the piano part with it on the piano. It was just so cool. But I remember he just was like time travel, or like Tron, like what that is, and I took it more towards. I loved Family Guy at the time. I don't think he was the biggest Family Guy fan. Yo, do I have a fan? Oh my God, I do. See, that's what I'm saying. I drink prepared.
Is that Blue Harvest?
Fucking love Family Guy. I
used to
love
have
Star
Blue
Wars,
Harvest.
but I used some Stewie quotes. I used some, not from here. I used Stewie quotes from the show, Road to Multiverse. Not even Road to Multiverse. I love that theory, but the Stewie quotes from his time. I think it's the first time his time machine there. Mort goes in it. Mm-hmm. That's when he went back in time. So I put the little Family Guy quote at the end, Stewie at the beginning.
I love
Doc,
I don't know if you
Marty.
ever watched Justice League as a kid, like the show.
No,
but like I think
wait,
there's
Justice
a
League
kid,
cartoon show.
Yeah, the cartoon show.
I
think there was a whole time travel arc in one of those, which is pretty cool. Like Green Lantern goes back in time or something.
Fuck yeah! And then we got I got the shirt on because I am McLovin. So good, motherfucking super bad. It's one of my favorite. Angel Heart.
I still need to watch that one. I need to watch that. I know you gave me a copy. No, you already gave me a copy. Wow. Or I have a copy. Wow. I just haven't.
I'm all about paying it forward with movies too. That's a big I love that movie. Shout out Macaulay Culkin as a kid. I think it's
which movie?
Is it Macaulay Culkin?
Which one?
Pay It Forwards, Helen Hunt, Kevin Spacey. I wasn't going to mention Mr. Spacey, but now that he's cleared of charges, maybe it's okay.
Was he cleared?
You be the judge.
He's cleared like Alec Baldwin was cleared.
He's cleared. I back a lot of the actors who back him, so I don't know if that means I can say I support him. I love his movies. I'll say that. But he's also a genius. But also, there you go. Maybe there's an imbalance there, maybe not. It's up to you to decide. But that movie, Pay It Forward, where he's in, is great. The kid has this ultimate idea. If you pay it forward, you start the chain reaction. You got 90 seconds, but chain reaction back. Angel Heart, another great movie. Shout out Alden. He showed me this. He samples it on our Clockwork song. Such a good, fucked up little movie. But there's this good quote in it Robert De Niro has. What good is wisdom when it brings no profit to the wise? Johnny. Such a good quote. Such a fucking good movie. And then, as always, Pineapple Express. Probably my all-time favorite.
Item 9.
The bee's knees. Private, we need you to be serious.
You know what I can tell you about your whole army operation? F you.
It's so cool. I know you guys can't see it, but the timers now, do you see that, Brendan? It's down to sub a minute. It's 50 seconds. So it's I love the countdown. The countdown is real. It's so cool. We're about to go drink some.
I don't need to duck and cover like the turtle, like my dad, with my dad was a kid.
I love your play. Is that PlayStation in Japanese?
It is, yes.
Yeah, so you know how my brain just read that? PlayStation. How the log on is. Because I could tell it probably is that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. How's your brain reading? Well, I have to say thank you for coming here, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Give me a little bang, bang. Right? Shout out Venture X, the little studio here. Shout out Glass River Media. As always, shout out Zuzu, the little vape. Motherfucking Starbucks. My man Bo, my tattoo artist, did all my art. Fucking crazy. We'll see you next week. I guess in 2 weeks.